G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I will be Nat. This will be my Knackers Yard, and it's been an interesting week. So it's a short week post bank holiday. I did go out on the bike, on the big bike on Klaus, with the good lady, which was nice, and we're slowly getting used to that whole touring thing. And it was only a 40-minute journey or so. Country roads on the way there, bit of motorway on the way back. Went to a beautiful little place called Tring. T-R-I-N-G, Tring. Really good. Did some sort of like treasure hunt, treasure trail type thing, sort of thing we normally do, or we've done quite often with the kids. We kind of escaped and did it on our own and had a nice long breakfast. It was lovely. But best thing about a bank holiday is you get a short week, which is nice. 4-day week, happy. Yeah, it's been interesting stuff going around. So a lot within Dirty Garage Guy, a lot within Ryan, as in Bikes with Rye. If you're in on that, just sit back and enjoy the show. It's grab your popcorn and sit back. That's exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, if you're not, just boom past. It's just beef that's not worth being involved in. But speaking of beef, I am with Daryl, who is giving me severe hassles getting his stator off. I cannot get the stator bolt out. It is reverse thread, so it's a clockwise undo. Lots of suggestions. Really gratefully received, including strapping around like you do on a clutch basket, etc. But this is so much harder than that. It's just not working. A couple of guys said, make a tool. Which is precisely what I'm going to do. Now, on the mount for the bolt, there is a flat, but it's within the stator itself, so it's difficult to get to. So what I've decided is I'll try and see what I can do. Now, I did try getting an adjustable wrench, or big, what do they call it here? They call it a sanitary adjustable wrench, i.e. it's not got ridges. It doesn't fit in the hole. I'm doing it at an angle. You can see the chews outside. It's only a bit of cheap tat anyway, but it's just not playing, and I risk damage it. Frankly, this is that crap. You can see chunks out of it. It's going to break this before it breaks anything on the bike, but it's not worked. So that will go in the miscellaneous toolbox of stuff that might be useful at some stage in the future. I was trying to avoid making something really. Trying to see if I could do it without making something. Now, being a tit in the shed, and much to the likes of Matt's derision, not being an engineer or a mechanic for a living, having a white collar job, I don't have a shitload of steel lying around and metal lying around. What I do have is something that I found lying around a long time ago, and it's choffing heavy. That is about 9 mil steel. Now, I found that on a dog walk. It was one piece. It was my first attempt at welding, and I made a door end. In our old house, it was used to keep the back gate open prior to getting the dog, I think. So I'm going to use that. Now, I've measured across, and it's a 36 mil flat, so I've made a bit of a cardboard template that fits in. So the intention being to just hoik off one of those limbs, go down the 36 mil, and just keep hacking at it until I can at least get it in the stator, which is what I'm going to do now. I won't film myself cutting metal, because I'm just cutting thick metal, and people will critique that I'm holding it in the air and holding it between my knees and in my teeth. But yeah, I'll get it down to something that might fit, and then I'll drop you back in and we'll see if we can actually get this stator off. If I can't get the stator off on the bike, I'm going to see if I can get the engine out with the stator still on, which the book doesn't tell you not to do, but does say to take the stator out first. So let's see how I get on. I will claim many things. I will not claim to be a fabricator. So So as was, I've hacked that back end off. Obviously I'm trying to put it into a circle, so I've rounded it off a bit. I deliberately cut it too small, and what I've been doing is, go on, stay. Alright, and what I've been doing is either filing, or I've got my little just to pull it back. And then what I've got in the end, I might have to put you down because I'm going to run out of hands and there's not a lot of space around here because the bike is bondaged. So hang on, let me drop you back in. I needed a tool, so I've made a tool. Now what I've not got is a way of hooking it onto anything else. So I do have this slot there, so I think I'm going to bolt on a big pipe just so it wedges against the ground or something else, or the bars or whatever. I might just nip that a little bit deeper so I can get a bit flatter. But yeah, I'm actually rather enjoying this. Yeah, I need to push that a little bit higher, probably on both sides actually. Ooh, it's just hacked. I appear to have created a medieval weapon. Well, I can brace it on the floor. It's going to be really tricky to show because I can't get a camera down there and I can't really move the bike. So you're going to have to live with a shitty angle in my arse, I'm afraid. Let's give it a go. I think I've got the right socket on the end of this. Yes, 17. Right. Well, it's catching it nicely. It's catching it on the floor. Nope. That'll be the world breaking. There's a fuckload of world on there. Fuck. Perseverance. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's worked. It's worked with the help of a breaker bar, an extension piece, a re-weld of the of my broken tool. Yeah, I suppose it's a tool, isn't it? Yeah, but we're there. Let me get this off and I'll show you. I've not had it off. For now. I have just broken it there, as in broken the back of it. The bolts. My welder is sticking too, so got it. There's my tool fixed. There's the worst welding ever. My wire's sticking, so I'm just getting it. It's just dap, 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 and it's quite thick as well. So my little hobby welder, it's almost beyond it. But frankly, I just needed a lot of metal in there to try and stop that from snapping off again. Cool. Right. Huzzah. Some success at last. I don't know if that's stated now. Oops. Just pulls off. I think it does. No. I'm probably going to need a fucking tool, won't I, to pull it out.
Let me get the book out because I haven't read beyond getting that bolt out. Right, I'll drop you back in once I've read. Right, okay, for me it's a full day later. For you it's seconds. I'm annoyed with myself and yet happy with myself at the same time, which is a weird piece of cognitive dissonance for a Sunday morning. Yeah, for the pulley to get the stator out, the puller, sorry, to get the stator out, I give up yesterday thinking, oh, balls, and just left it. I had stuff to do, at which point yesterday, early evening, I suddenly thought, oh, hang on, I bought something for this. No, let me do it in the order. I thought one of the previous bikes, it might have been the Super Dream. I thought, actually, I've got a couple of bolts. And the book specifically says, don't just try and yank it out, use a proper tool. Come on, focus, you bugger. Oop. There we go. No, still not playing. Anyway, I've got a bolt. I wonder if it'll fit. And say a bolt, I've got like 2 or 3. They're just little pulley things that I've picked up over time. You know, of vaguely different sizes that I use as pullers. And I found one that fitted. And I got it in, and I got started, and I got it to work. The bit that really annoyed me, because that's all good stuff now. Why were you annoyed? I was annoyed because I forgot a while ago. I've never used this. It's been in a box. I've literally just got it out. I bought a puller set a little while ago that's got a few of those bolts. I think I bought that after I bought that bolt, thinking, next time that bolt might not fit, and I specifically bought the one for that size, so that'll go in the stack of other shite that I might use again. Now I've had to brace it again. The book does say in a latter stage about other ways of shoring that off, including putting it in gear, put the back brake on, etc., etc. The strap method around the basket. I got none of those to work. Absolutely none of those to work. They were just not playing. So I hence made the tool. But what I do have now is the ability to wind the whole stator off. I am going to stop there because it is Sunday and I am out of playtime. But I do have one stator, not too shagged after all of my abuse, which is kind of good. You can tell it's the next day. Look, I've got changed. Yeah, happy nat. What I'm going to do is leave that bolt in it for now so that I don't lose it again. Chuck a bag on. What I will do is take you off that, chuck a bag on, chuck a plastic bag over it so it doesn't get dusty, because everything gets shitty in my garage, including me. What I will do is try and show you what we got. And this is my first look too, so I should be able to just get the gear change lever out once I've taken the main basket off behind. I don't just want to pull stuff off. I want to generate a little bit more space to do it. It won't be in this update, it will be in the next one. But the entire reason for doing this is to get rid of the gear change lever, so I've actually got some space to get the engine out so I can have a proper play. But yeah, success. Some really terrible welding, some horrendous tool making, but frankly, if it works, it works. And I'm content with that, albeit time consuming, but my time is free. I am a hobbyist. I do this sort of stuff for fun. Happy with that. Right, that took about a day and a half. I was only expecting it to take a couple of hours, but you know, welcome to my my bike playing. That happens more frequently than you would think. Well, no, it doesn't actually. I think any part-time garage tinkerer is much in the same place, where you try something, it doesn't work. You then really need to use the patience of thinking about it rather than just blundering ahead with something that's not working, because you will break stuff, and I have in the past and probably will in the future. But anyway, right, I'm in a better position. Next one, I'll be trying to get rid of the gear change lever, which probably means I'm going to have to take the rest of the basket out, probably, which means I'm going to have to do that semi-properly. My current system of hoisting this from the ceiling really isn't helping at this point, because I don't have a lot of access on the left-hand side. Certainly not for filming, barely enough for a little tall fat body like mine. Right, that'll do me for another one. I've got round my stator problem. It's off. I haven't damaged it, brackets, too much. I probably have done something to it, but hey, that should give me enough space to get this engine out on the next upload. So gear lever off, and then I'm going to see if I can get this engine out, and we'll then get to the top end that's causing me all the issues. Cheers all, I'll catch you later. Ta-da.